This weird looking vehicle is one of a number that were converted by Panzer Brigade 150 for Operation Grief, their part of the Ardennes offensive, when they were supposed to go and capture some bridges over the River Meuse. It failed, they all got stuck in traffic. And the number of these, possibly 5, 2 were actually found. The other 3, I guess, were just had all the sort of extraneous metalwork stripped off and reconverted back to Stugs. That's about it. There's only a couple of photographs of them, so it makes quite a nice, easy project to convert. And there doesn't seem to be any sort of history available as to how well these vehicles fared, apart from 2 of them being knocked out. And there's only photographs, I think, of 2 or 3 of them. It is a fairly simple conversion project. The big question is, what were these things actually supposed to be disguised as? The best information that I've come up with really is that they were disguised so they didn't look like Stugs. There's various ideas. It may have been an M7 or one of that great big T28, T29 massive American thing, but it doesn't strike me as being very likely. I think they were just designed so that because Kampfgruppe couldn't, the Panzer Brigade couldn't get the amount of disguised American vehicles they actually wanted, they just sort of went to town with a couple of Stugs. And I suppose if it's dark or misty or whatever, you might be fooled by it. Now, this one, unfortunately, the crew figure that I did for it succumbed to the carpet monster, and while I was looking for him, I trod on it. So, I'm presuming you know what Stug G looks like. We could put David Fletcher next to it for a bit of figure reference. Damn silly German thing, all rubbish. It is a very, very easy conversion to do, partly because there only are 2 or 3 photographs. The real thing, the side skirts were added, they removed the top machine gun and put this sort of substructure on. Let's look at what a nice simple conversion it actually is. So this is the basics of the conversion. You can see it's not actually very difficult. Make side skirts, make this sort of boxing structure. Obviously it needs a bit of finishing, it's still a bit rough, but I film better in daylight and it's going to get dark soon, and I'm hoping to get some paint on this fairly soon. One of the advantages of trying to do a conversion like this is there are actually so few photographs. I think there's only 2 photographs. It's actually very difficult to see a lot of detail in these things. There are a couple of fairly decent websites that I will try and put in the link to in the description below. But if you fancy a fairly easy conversion, this took, cutting all the plastic up took a couple of hours, gluing it all into place, and you've got something strikingly different. And I think with a bit of paint and a bit of finishing off, it is still a little bit rough, with a little bit of paint, I think this is going to look striking and different. And as far as I'm aware, it's the only one in 1/48 scale.